Dobrý den, hello and welcome. In this video we are going to look at 5 common mistakes that English speakers make when they communicate in Czech. Ahoj, vítejte na mém kanále Czech by Zuzka, kde vám pomocí angličtiny vysvětluju českou gramatiku. Just to be clear, when I say a mistake, I don't consider a mistake as something negative. We all know that making mistakes is necessary in order to learn something new, especially a language. If you want to speak the language, you have to use it, and you cannot use it without making mistakes, especially at the beginning. I'm always amazed when I hear someone speak Czech, no matter on what level. During my lessons, when I have conversations in Czech with my English-speaking students, I understand them perfectly, and that's the most important thing. I know what it was like for me when I was learning English or Spanish or trying to speak French. And those are languages that are much more accessible than Czech. I know that Czech language is very different from English or any other language that's not Slavic. Let's take a look at the first common mistake, which is caused by the interference from English language. Rozuměl jsem to, which means I understood it. What's wrong with this sentence? I understood it. Seems quite alright, except this part. In Czech, rozumět, to understand, has to be followed by a different case, by the dative. This would be the accusative case, the direct object, but for some reason in Czech we understand something indirectly. You have to remember that rozumět has to be followed by the dative case. Whether you want to say that you understand someone or something, they're both in dative. So in this case we would say rozuměl jsem tomu. Rozuměl jsem tomu. That's the dative for to, for it. If you wanted to say I understood her or you, it would also be dative. For example, rozuměl jsem ti means I understood you. Or nerozuměl jsem ti. Promiň, nerozuměl jsem ti. Sorry, I didn't understand you. Promiň, nerozuměl jsem ti. Nebo nerozuměl jsem tomu. It's important to mention that we have another verb that means to understand, and that is chápat. It's a little bit more informal. It means like to get something, to grasp the idea. And that one is actually followed by the accusative case. They're not always interchangeable. This one is a little bit more direct. In some situations, it could come across a little bit impolite. But if you wanted to say to a friend, I understand it, I get it, you can say chápu to. Chápu to, that's the accusative case. Chápu to a rozumím tomu. Chápu tě, I get you, I get your point. Chápu tě a rozumím ti. I am late. Jsem pozdě, except in Czech we cannot say I am late. Jsem is wrong here. We use a different verb. We say I come late. So you can say jdu pozdě if you want to say I am coming late, I'm running late at this point. You can say jdu pozdě, or if you want to use the future tense, I'll be late, you can say přijdu pozdě. Přijdu pozdě because we are referring to the place we are coming to. We will arrive late. Or the past is also with přijít. Přišel jsem, přišla jsem pozdě. I arrived late. So that's one option. If you say I am late, you say jdu pozdě. I'm running late. Přijdu pozdě, I'll be late, I will come late. Přišel jsem, přišla jsem pozdě. I was late. I arrived late. The other option is to use the verb to have, but then you have to say literally I have a delay or I will have a delay, etc. So you could say mám zpoždění if you want to let other people know I have a delay, I'm delayed, mám zpoždění. Or you want to let other people know I'll be delayed, budu mít zpoždění. Now what happens if you want to say I'll be 5 minutes late? You can say přijdu o 5 minut pozdě. I'll be late by 5 minutes. Přijdu o 5 minut pozdě. Or you could say budu mít 5 minut zpoždění, budu mít zpoždění 5 minut, to je jedno, doesn't matter. So these are the two most common expressions to say that you're late. Budu být doma. I will be home. What's wrong with that? This. In Czech, when you want to translate I will be or will be for any other pronoun, you only use budu. Because budu or budeš, bude, etc. already means to be in the future. So this verb cannot be here. Budu doma, I'll be home. So this one word means 3 words in English. I will be. Anytime you want to say I will be or you will be, you only need one word. If you want to say we'll be home, you will say budeme doma. You need budu or budeš plus infinitive when there is a different verb, not the verb to be. And that verb has to be imperfective. For example, budu se těšit. I'll be looking forward. Budu se těšit. Ale budu doma, I will be home. I think it's true, or I hope it's true. There is something missing. Myslím, to je pravda, doufám, to je pravda. That's one of the most common mistakes. In English, you can leave out that, this connector. I hope that is true. I think that it's true. You practically don't have to use it. So most of the time you leave it out. But in Czech, we have to have this connector translated as že. We write myslím, comma, že, and then the rest of the sentence. The same goes for the verb to hope. I hope that it is true. And also the verb to believe. We could say věřím, že. I believe that it's true. So when there is a dependent clause and there is a verb such as to think, hope and believe, in Czech we have to use že. Myslím, že to je pravda. Doufám, že to je pravda. Věřím, že to je pravda. And by the way, if you want to say I hope so or I think so, in Czech, you say myslím, že ano. Even though there is no verb after, we still use it because there is a word after it. So we use this že to connect these two ideas. I think that yes. I think so. The same here. If you want to say I hope so, you would say doufám, že ano. Věřím, že ano. I believe so. The same if you wanted to say I hope not. Myslím, že ne. And what happens if you simply want to say I hope and you're not mentioning anything after? You don't say že. You only say doufám. If someone says stihneš to zítra? Will you make it tomorrow? Will you be able to do it tomorrow? Jo, doufám. Doufám. Or doufám, že ano. Doufám, že jo. When there is something after these verbs, it doesn't have to be another full clause. We have to use že. Myslím, že ano. Myslím, že jo. Myslím, že ne. Myslím, že je to pravda. Vypadá to skvělé. It looks great. This looks great, right? Except skvělé is not what we want to say. Skvělé is an adjective, but the verb to look or to seem have to be followed by an adverb. So we want to say how does it look? In which way? Vypadá to skvěle. That's the adverb skvěle. When there is an accent, when there is čárka, that's the adjective. So if you want to say it looks great, you say vypadá to skvěle. If you want to say it looks good, you have to say it looks well. So you say vypadá to dobře. Vypadá to dobře. Vypadá to špatně. It looks bad. Even if you tell someone, oh, you look great. Vypadáš skvěle. Vypadáš skvěle. You look great. So remember, vypadat. In Czech, we have to make a distinction between the adjective and the adverb. So, you look in a great way. Skvěle. Vypadáš skvěle. It looks great in a great way. Vypadá to skvěle. Are these the mistakes that you make or you have made in the past? Let me know in the comments below. I'll also appreciate if you leave a comment with a mistake that you make or you have made in the past and I didn't mention it here. Let's translate 5 sentences with these common mistakes that I mentioned in this video. How do you say you're late in Czech? Feel free to pause the video and think. In Czech we have to say you come late. Jdeš pozdě. Jdeš pozdě. Or we could say máš zpoždění. Číslo 2. I don't understand anything. Understand will be translated as rozumět. And remember that rozumět needs the dative case. Nerozumím. And the dative for anything or nothing actually would be ničemu. Ničemu. Nerozumím ničemu. Nic is the nominative and ničemu is the dative case. Číslo 3. Will you be in the office? Remember, will be just one word. Budeš. Budeš v kanceláři. Budeš v kanceláři? Let's read these sentences. You're late. Jdeš pozdě. I don't understand anything. Nerozumím ničemu. Will you be in the office? Budeš v kanceláři? And 2 more sentences. You look tired. Look, remember that's vypadat and you have to use an adverb. Vypadáš. Unavený is the adjective and unaveně, that's the adverb. Vypadáš unaveně. You look in a tired way. I hope we won't be late. I hope, doufám. What comes after doufám if there is more words? Že. Že. We won't be late. We won't come late. Nepřijdeme pozdě. Doufám, že nepřijdeme pozdě. Or doufám, že nebudeme mít zpoždění. Let's read these sentences. You look tired. Vypadáš unaveně. I hope we won't be late. Doufám, že nepřijdeme pozdě. Doufám, že nebudeme mít zpoždění. To je ode mě všechno. Let me know how well you did translating these sentences. Vážení přátelé, to je ode mě všechno pro tenhle rok. Přeju vám krásný závěr roku a úspěšný začátek nového roku 2024. Budu se na vás těšit zase za týden. Ahoj!